Yo, um, just busy trying to sort some technical issues here. Yes, yes. Let's see. Yeah, just thinking that it's been a busy day, cold day. Uh, yeah, one thing that struck me today is having received lessons and attending supervision meetings online. It's been a great experience today. Just to be sitting and having a productive day. Actually means a lot, to actually realize how the world is so much small, and can be bridged through technology and stuff. I feel like, I came into a point of self-reflection and having to think about what I'm going to talk about today, which is what really matters, in life. I do believe that what really matters in life is actually one of the most fundamental questions that we are confronted with, to discover our value orientation, because where I am now will be determined by my value orientation, where I am gonna be. We have to look carefully into our sets of value orientation and realize that it's important to know ourselves, because it's the beginning of all wisdom that you can ever have, just to invest in ourselves and invest our times in ourselves, not to say that other people are not important, but everything starts with self-investment first. Knowing yourself, uncovering yourself, learning yourself, not in an egocentric way or selfish way, so to put it, because I do believe that there's nothing wrong with being self-centered, because it's part of you knowing or learning who you are as a person. You have to discover our authentic self. Your eyes are open when you are awakened to your authentic self. You will begin to see the world differently. Once you start to fix your eyes into your core self, your real self. The first step is of personal transformation. You have to know yourself. That is very vital. Never lose who you are, in the face of different values around you. Understand your true self and build yourself up on your own set of values, because that is how we make progress as people, through our values. There must be set of values that are very fundamental, in a manner that you can't really compromise that. You have to, you tell yourself that, what, I'll die for this set of values. We have to come into that point. A big part of knowing yourself is to discover what really matters in life. you know, but prior that, it's knowing yourself, you know, knowing your true nature, you know, and then you discover what really matters. So it's impossible to know what really matters if you don't know who you are, you know. That's most important, you know. I'm just thinking right now shortly that we are confronted with so many problems, you know, and everything matters, you know. But how do we address the matters if we are lost from ourselves, you know, our true nature, you know? How do we address these matters, you know? To know thyself is to be true to yourself, you know, despite the circumstances where we come from, because I know that majority of us come from a tragic child where our family units are broken apart, structures are not functional, are dysfunctional in a certain way. And it's important that we transcend that, we rise above, you know, and we find a sense of meaning that will help us, you know, navigate our lives into the next segment, journeying into where we ordained to be, you know, because I believe that we are people here on a mission to fulfill, you know, to reach out to others and be of service to community and to humanity. You will know how to choose and walk your own path once you know who you really are. You know, it's difficult to just choose a path, not knowing who you are and what is it that you stand for as a person. To be your authentic self is to be true to your nature, your values, your beliefs, your ideals, and calling in the context of suffering and death. As I've mentioned, that we are coming from a tragic triad, most of us, you know, and we have to live a life of overcoming, you know, and reclaiming our human dignity. You know, our nature, our values, our ideals are very important, you know, because that's what connects us to ourselves and others around us. You know, once you miss that mark, it's not possible that the journey will continue to be the same with those people, you know. To their own values be true, you know. This is the first important lesson on your journey towards healing and flourishing. So we are wounded people in many ways. And for us to heal, it's a matter of knowing who we are, you know, knowing the greater person within that want to express himself to the community, to the society. But do you know your destination? You know, do you know your direction? You know, do you have a GPS venturing on this long journey? Your basic values, orientation will guide you on the map. Asking these big questions, who are you? I think there is a question that used to attack me the most, which is, I believe, is the most important question centered around existentialism of who do you think you were before you were in your mother's womb? Do you think you ever existed? Who were you before you started opening your eyes the first time you conceived? If you try to conjure the memory of that time, can you really pick up who you are? It was quite a interesting question, because I have asked those questions to certain people, and some of them were fearing to answer the question, and some of them didn't want to take their thoughts in that direction. So it's quite a deep question to have to think about it as a person. What really matters in life is the most important question, because the future of humanity depends on how we answer this question. For example, if your profit is the only thing that matters, the manufacturing industry may produce enough pollution to destroy the planet Earth. So is it really about profit, what matters to us? Or it's about the ultimate meaning and purpose that matters the most? To ask what really matters in life is to ask what is most important in my life? What makes life worth living? What is good life? What do I do? Or what do I really believe? If you don't know what really matters, you will mess up your life. You notice, like, in most marital conflicts are due to trivial matters. If couples knew what really mattered in life, they would have much better marriages. Many people regret careers and marriage choices they have made. They have made wiser choices if they knew what really mattered. You see, so most of the time it's just trivial things, just small things that we overlook, and we forget that as we grow, life is not reversing backwards. So whatever choice that we make has to matter the most, to us, to you as a person, adding value and substance in your life journey, making a better way for yourself. Human flourish depends on having the right value orientation. So if I don't have the right sets of values, I won't navigate my right path. So I have to channel my values correctly, in order for me to reach wherever I'm supposed to reach, But the most important thing is living a life that leaves an indelible mark, On the surface, what really matters is life depends on individual and on situation. As I've been saying, that sometimes these values can come like this, change every now and then, because circumstances and situations are not always the same. So sometimes we have to use our attitudinal value to adjust into life circumstances itself. So the manner in which we adjust our attitude will determine the difference that we'll make as human beings. The unemployed needs jobs more than anything else. That's what they're looking for. For the lonely, what matters the most is to find lover. But if we probe deeper, we discover that people, ideals of what matters mostly depend on the basic value orientation. So because maybe possibly, like, I could be here in this flat alone, and I'm realizing that I'm so lonely, and I'm not connected. And I think that maybe finding a partner would make a difference, you know. And another person is looking for employment, you know, like nothing else, you know. So that's why values, basic value orientation depends on circumstances, you know, that a person is facing, you know, whereas maybe another person might be in a community of people that is supporting him spiritually, mentally, you know, for him to be able to provide for himself and be a strong person to deal with daily circumstances, find it not really appealing to be in a relationship or find a partner, you know? So values are not the same, you know? What do you believe? You know, I think that's another personal question, you know, which is directed to yourself. What do you believe? You know, we believe in so many things. Some people believe in science, some people believe in religion, some people believe in spirituality, you know, but what do you really believe in? You know, some people believe in nature, you know, what really do you believe in as a person? A delightful book on personal philosophies of men and women. What is your personal credo? We need to look into our credos, guys. What are you deeply held conviction? What are your core values? What are your fundamental beliefs and guidelines? What guides your life, basically? You know, maybe one of the tasks that I would like to give you is to write sort of like an assignment about you, what do you believe? And you'll say, this I believe, you know? It will be quite interesting, actually, to have to think about that and just reflect on a journal. The different value orientation, as I've said, there is pleasure orientation, there is success orientation, and there is also meaning orientation. I'm going to explain this later on. An orientation is a mindset, frame of reference, a set of values and beliefs. An individual value orientation is expressed in his or her own desires, priorities, and prefers lifestyle. We are all pleasure and success and meaning and meaning in our lives. We all prefer these things, guys. The question is, which value orientation do we embrace as our guide, guiding lights to a moral compass? Pleasure. Let's look at pleasure, guys. Everybody wants to be happy. Everyone prefers positive emotions. The brain reward system indicates to use us the importance of positive effects for survival and flourishing. There is hundreds of recent studies on benefits of happiness, but if we make pursuit of happiness pleasant and pleasurable life of our ultimate purpose and way of life, we are endorsing the value orientation and the life philosophy of a hedonist. Let's eat and drink and be happy. We will spend wasted life on hedonist treadmill. The rat will forsake all else, stimulate the brain rewards system and maintain a higher level of dopamine until it drops off and dies. You know how much we all chase for happiness? We are chasing happiness. We want to be happy people than anything else in the world. We're seeking happiness, we sideline the side of having to do something meaningful as a byproduct of having to be happy. We just want happiness. Later on, we have to work again and do a rat race of chasing happiness. That's where most of our youth is centered and focused onto happiness, and there's nothing wrong about happiness. We all want happiness, but there are certain ways of attaining that. Majority of us, get wasted, live wasted lives because we eat, drink, get wasted, and that's not the ultimate purpose of being here and being alive. Let us not waste oxygen, and be a burden on this world, wasting life. Our lives are supposed to be dear, precious, and close to us as people. You know what I mean? And have that sense of meaning and adding value to people. Success orientation trumpers. We're looking at success right now. So everyone aspires to be successful in what they do. Success is good. Success is rewarding. However, we cannot make success the most important thing and the ultimate purpose in life. What are the problems of success orientation? One, many do not have the opportunity and the ability to succeed. Two, once you get to the top, you will worry about falling down. The higher you are, the harder the fall. Three, when you teach the pinnacle of success, you may feel a profound sense of emptiness and delusion. And four, you may regret that you have sacrificed family, friends to achieve success. We do a whole lot of things like when we're chasing happiness and chasing success, we become gullible, because everything that matters is just profits, profits, and at the expense of things that are important to us, that are life and giving forces to us. Guys, let's focus on this last one. Make a deal with the devil. If you make happiness a success, an ultimate objective will open to temptation. Despite his success and fame, Faust is bored, dissatisfied with life. He decided to call on the devil in order to gain magic powers that allows him to indulge in all pleasure and knowledge of the world for many years. In response, the devil representative makes a bargain Faust. He will have magic powers in terms of years, but at the end of the term, the devil will claim the Faust soul, and the Faust will be eternally damned. The question is, what does it do if you gain the whole world and lose your soul? You must surrender your life to your higher power, your own creator. Meaningless, says the teacher. Fear your creator and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Surrender to your creator. Meaning orientation, the idealist. that's what I recommend, because part of my task is to help people find their meaning, find their purpose. Life is a gift from God. The meaning and purpose of life is to use this gift to serve God and humanity. The meaning orientation will sustain us when we are not happy or successful. The meaning orientation will protect us against temptation, excesses, because we will always focus on what really matters. Here are several test evaluations for your value orientation. The perspective test. Your perspective is your vantage point. The way you look at life. What is your perspective? Are you looking up to the bottom of a well? Or are you looking down from the sky? Is your value orientation based on perspective of personal happiness, success, or based on larger perspective of serving others and some higher purpose? And that alone is wired towards a meaningful existence, other than just personal happiness and success. The bottom line test, personal core values. What is your basic principle or core value that cannot be compromised? We must sit and reflect to ourselves and think properly. What is it that you cannot compromise as a man, that you're willing to stand up for? If you have no basic guideline principle and you are willing to do anything to achieve success and happiness, anything will end up making you a deal with the devil. Morality test. There is always an implicit dimension to your value orientation, because we are moral beings living in moral universe. In your choice, your decision consistent with the higher moral and ethical standards. The passion test. What price are you willing to pay to pursue what matters most to you? Have you found something for dying for? Characteristics of meaning orientation. Action are based on basic values, orientation of meaning, and virtue. What matters the most is to do what is right, good, according to the higher purpose, serving others and God. Self is embedded in the rational world, family, friends, community, humanity, and your creator. To deny one's human dignity and quest for meaning is to deny on the inside. Even in a Nazi camp, concentration camp, Frankl was able to live with human dignity and profound sense of meaning. Those who died on the inside usually succumbed to a physical death quickly in the camp. We have to come back to ourselves, guys. If there is a need to change our value system, we have to change our value system. Values are not fixed. Values come in now and again. We have to have the ability to shift the values that makes us feel like we are there already when we are not. We have to start applying values that are pulling us towards making a difference to ourselves and our surroundings and other people as well. So that is the ultimate aim of us, humanity, to be here on earth, is to make a contribution. We are not here to hide our gifts. We are here to reveal whatever we have and share whatever we have, which is something that will be able to sustain us in the long run. Ours is just to open up to the world and not just lock up to ourselves. I feel like that is quite imperative for every one of us to learn to alter our value system and navigate towards the right path where we need to be. And when we are there, guys, you know, it feels good. It feels safe. It feels wonderful, I would say. So just to inspire you guys is that nothing great happens in a single day. The thing is that we are in a rat race chasing happiness, you know, and that happiness might end up missing us. So let's just try to do the right thing, you know, at the right time. You know, we will eventually get there once you are aligned with ourselves and the right people whom we're going to journey the journey of life with together. Thank you so much.